Homiles, welcome to the Naked Mennonite, a place for the black sheep from any flock. I'm your host, Stephen Harder. You know, when I was a kid, Easter Sunday services were something kind of special. You know, you'd get dressed up in all your extra fancy clothes. The pews would be filled not only with the regulars, but with their out-of-town visiting families, plus all the wishy-washy Christians who showed up only on holidays and thought that was enough to get them into heaven. And somehow the church services just seemed extra sacred, extra special. But not today, not anymore. Now Easter morning services are filled with Iron Man and Toy Story and whatever the hell this is. Okay, not every church is like that, but this is how Church of the Rock in Winnipeg, Manitoba has been celebrating Easter for years now. They put on a large, irreverent ruckus to attract as many people as possible by giving them something they think folks will actually be interested in seeing. Like trying to cram the gospel into a Star Wars shaped box and praying that no one from Disney's legal team is watching. And this year I thought I'd take in the spectacle and see what this hubbub is all about. So imagine my shock and curiosity when I saw that Church of the Rock were advertising their Easter morning service as the actual Easter story. No superheroes, no cartoon characters, no disco, whatever that means. Just a retelling of the actual biblical Easter story with some great music of the past couple decades. So, and like personally, I find it a little ironic that in our current day and age, when the media landscape is awash, is flooded with pop references and nostalgia grabs, that the church that built its Easter brand off of pop culture smash-ups finally ran out of franchises to rip off. Okay, well, that's not true. They still haven't done John Wick. That's probably next year. But maybe this year, I don't know. They just ran out of time. Who's to say? Either way, it's a bold move from a place that once crucified Belle while Mrs. Potts sang Freebird. And since I just finished my video dissecting the Easter morning narrative and how impossible it is to reconcile them into one story, I was so curious to know how they did it. How did they make one play that was the actual Easter story? I wanted to know what it looked like. So I dug in, and I will tell you, I was not prepared. And I'm going to guess neither are you, but this masterpiece ain't going to dissect itself. So let's hold our noses and dive in to Church of the Rock's actual Easter story. So the story begins with just your stereotypical bustling Bible-type scene. You know, but it's giving off real Jesus Christ Superstar vibes. You know what I mean? Like a hard electric rock riff, a chaotic choreography, and this is not the last time I'm going to catch a whiff of this. When the followers of Jesus enter, I am confused. I think the background actors got the memo to flip into slow motion, but then the main characters are kind of caught between slow and medium motion. And, you know, this is the kind of thing that you typically work out during rehearsals if you had such, but I guess this is what it looks like when you don't rehearse, I guess. Anyways, Jesus' followers are shocked that everyone isn't shattered by Jesus' crucifixion, quote unquote, 3 days ago. And I am already wishing that they were dressed up like copyright protected characters. That hair is a choice. In fact, all these wigs are choices.
Are we all going to sit around moping? Are we going to get on with life? I don't know about you guys, but I am going back to my first love of fishing.
So John 20:19 says that the disciples were hiding and afraid Easter morning. I thought they were trying to tell the actual Easter story.
But this has been the worst week of my life. What do you know about worst weeks, Thomas? You're not even married.
What?
I just love it when Christian guys feel complete liberty to joke about how awful marriage is. As if being head of the home is such a soul-crushing burden. Yeah, Chad, I get it. Your wife interrupted the Jets playoff game in order to ask you to do the dishes because she was too busy doing all the other work around the house. Let's share a non-alcoholic beer and swap stories about how unreasonable our wives are. Ha ha ha.
Oy vey, that is rich. When did you, Peter, ever catch fish when JC wasn't around, eh?
So here we have Matthew, the Jewish tax collector, being portrayed by a white man with a thick, caricaturesque Yiddish accent. Everyone else is delivering their lines straight, but the Jewish guy, who's all about money, he gets the caricature. How out of touch do you need to be to not know that this smacks of anti-Semitism? Like, I didn't learn about World War II in school, but even I know that this kind of portrayal is a staple in anti-Semitic propaganda. So either this guy is really inept, or he just doesn't care, and I don't know which one is more likely. And here's our first needle drop with the audio edited to prevent any copyright strikage.
Matthew Levi, tax collector, at your service. Hey guys.
Wait a minute. Oh, the anti-Semitic caricature is played by the lead pastor? Well, that explains a lot. And I'm... Oh boy. All of these things are a lot like the other. All of these things are just the same. Ooh, that explains a lot. Ugh. Okay.
Hey guys, what do you call a fisherman who doesn't catch fish?
I don't know, Levi. What do you call a fisherman that doesn't catch fish?
A boater!
I don't...
You know, Jesus of Niverville.
Wait, what?
Follow me, and I will give you fishers of men, he said.
But it wasn't...
Listen, Dollface.
Dollface? Are we...
It's more like Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
Stop. What is going on here? I don't understand this joke. Jesus of Niverville? Jesus said he would make you fishers of men. Tweedledee and Tweedledum? What is going on? What is this? I thought... I thought this was the actual Easter story. What is going on? So, song number 2 of this jukebox musical from the past couple decades is a song that I had to look up because I was just barely familiar with the sound of the chorus. It's a parody of Lido Shuffle from 1976. So the pastor, dressed up as the money-obsessed Jew, collects money from everyone on stage and scurries off. And I just don't know how anyone is so divorced from reality that they don't realize how awful this looks. Like, how wrapped up in your own echo chamber do you need to be to not see how bad this is? Oh, blind leading the blind. Yikes. So they transition away from that train wreck to just talking about the marriage feast at Bethesda, which somehow was Mary's family's wedding. Oh, and Mary, she has a kind of really crappy Yiddish accent. I don't know. And then we start in with the jokes about the Jews.
Yeah, and you know what's a Jewish mama's favorite wine?
That I'm not going to play here.
Hey, you know what the difference between a Jewish mama and a terrorist is, don't you?
Because jokes about other cultural groups coming from white people don't belong on stage. Period. Dumbasses.
You know, one day I think I'm gonna sit down and write a record of the entire last 3 years. I think I'll call it a gospel. Yeah, that means good news, you know?
Maybe I'll write one too.
Yes, and they will be written about 50 years apart from each other, and they will not resemble each other at all.
Usually people who write books know how to read first.
Ooh! Sick burn, random lady in red from the top rope.
And there was 12 baskets left over. One for each of us. I ate my whole basket in one sitting.
It's funny because he's fat. I will never get tired of Christians who chuckle and nod about being fat and greedy, but need to protect children from the awful, satanic, condemnable sin of two men loving each other. Oh. Yeah. Yuck it up, you whitewashed tombs. Christ.
You do know that basket was for the journey to Blumenort the next day.
I wondered what happened to that 12th basket. Well, we ran out of food by the time we got to Rosenort.
This is just such lazy writing. So the joke says that they got the baskets in Grunthal, they were going to Blumenort, and they ran out by Rosenort. What does it mean if you're going to make jokes about your local community, but you can't bother to get the geography right? Classic Weird Al. Eat It. From 1984. I loved that one. When I was in preschool. Remind me again when we're getting to the songs from the past couple decades. Also, this is your gentle reminder, dear viewer, that this is a play about Easter.
Unclean! Unclean!
And he walked right up to them and touched them. Be cleansed.
What the hell was that? Was he supposed to unspin like a mummy in a cartoon? And why were people cheering? Like they know that he was acting, right? This wasn't a real miracle right there. And did Salome just heal him of leprosy? What is going on? I thought this was supposed to be the actual Easter story.
This dude is deaf and dumb, so JC spits on his finger and goes to town on him. I used to do this little Jamie every day. There, now you got spit for brains.
I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bright.
Okay, now we have Till the Love Runs Out by One Republic, 2013. I get it. It's a time thing. As the story progresses, we're inching towards modern songs from the past couple decades, as promised. Oh, wow. Just check out that choreo, right? That's sure choreographed. I guess. And, like, you gotta give it up for this set, though. Like, it looks great. That wall, that screen, looks like $1 million. Am I wrong? I am not wrong. That is a good-looking wall.
Prove to me that you're no fool and walk across my swimming pool.
See, another reference to Jesus Christ Superstar, but it is so veiled. If you didn't go home and put on that soundtrack every lunch hour in grade 12, you probably would have missed it.
So if you are the Christ, yes, the great Jesus Christ, prove to me that you're no fool. Walk across my swimming pool.
But I will walk 500 miles and I...
There goes my theory. I'm going to be 500 miles by the Proclaimers, 1988. So we are not traveling forward in time. We seem to be well positioned in the 80s. So our program today is not featuring the actual Easter story, and it is not featuring songs from the past couple of decades. Whew. Wow. And he looks so bored. I was hoping that they would surprise me with the whole walking on water thing, right? Like maybe they would do some cool little sleight of hand, some stagecraft. And instead we just got this guy like splashing in a puddle. Like, you could tell they were trying and then they just gave up. My bad for expecting more. I'll know better next time.
For me, that last 24 hours was next level stressful.
Next level stressful. Wow. That's some nuanced writing right there.
We're enjoying a nice Passover rack of lamb.
Oh, because he's fat. He likes eating because he's fat.
That's how I knew. He would beat me every time. He had to be cheating. And where do you think he got?
Is John supposed to be drunk? Why does he move like that? He looks drunk. I would love it if this guy was actually drunk. Even just a little bit. I suspect he's probably like a pastor, so he probably isn't, but I think it'd be awesome if he was. And I know that they're playing him as stupid, thanks to that earlier Tweedledee, Tweedledum reference, but even that feels really sacrilegious. If you're saying that your Messiah entrusted the church to these guys, like, those are my jokes. If you take all of my jokes, what am I going to be left with, right? So leave it to the professionals to point out how stupid the Bible is. That's our job.
There were 3 crucifixions that day. JC saved your bacon again. Bacon.
Oh, I get it, because he's fat and he's Jewish. So bacon is... I don't know. I give up.
Don't any of you read the Jerusalem Post? Barabbas was the insurrectionist imprisoned for trying to overthrow the Romans.
Lady in Red, spoiler, Jesus was apparently an insurrectionist arrested and executed for trying to overthrow the Roman government. That's what's depicted in your book.
I knew I could make you
Wait. Pause. Zoom and enhance cliche. The guy playing Peter couldn't be bothered to take off his big, gaudy, shiny cross for half an hour? Really? During an Easter play, you're... Whatever. They don't care, why should I? But there's just so much wandering around. People step forward, say their lines, and wander off into the background to groove to the music when it starts. Like, I've seen school productions staged better than this. And this is one of the largest churches in Manitoba.
Give me your heart, give me a sign.
Ooh.
Show me that love.
Shine by Collective Soul, 1993. I think we're wrapping up, and we've still only had one song from the 2000s.
And then there was the 3 days in the heart of the earth. Lord knows what happened down there.
This always bugs me. Why do Christians not care that Jesus wasn't actually dead for 3 days? He died just before sunset on Friday, and he rose before sunrise on Sunday. That's barely 36 hours. Not 3 days and 3 nights like Jonah. Why do they not care more about this?
Get up! Get up! Get up, get up, get up. Get up out of that grave. Get up, get up, get up. Get up out of that grave. Help me say, get up, get up, yeah. Get up out of that. Get up out of that.
What is this? This is a part of the Easter story where Jesus' followers go to the tomb and chant at him until he comes out? And then AI Jesus rises with sparklers? Like, what? I thought you were telling the actual Easter story. This is just too much. And this curtain call is something. Like something like a fever dream staged by a youth group who are just aching to have access to a fog machine. I feel like a church like this would probably have a very clear stance on men in drag. I don't know. So this person confuses me. Like, maybe he's playing a woman? Maybe the church is surprisingly progressive on its stance with trans women? Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. My brain is broken. I don't know what's going on. So, there you have it. One of the largest churches in Winnipeg with their pull out all the stops extravaganza celebration of the resurrection. A church that takes in $7.2 million in revenue every year, tax-free. And this is what they're putting out for their biggest day of the year. They promised a jukebox musical from the past couple decades. We got one song from this millennium, and the rest are from the 50 years ago. We got a lead pastor in the Jewish equivalent of blackface. Fat jokes galore. Awful writing. Awful performance. Awful exegesis. They clearly poured money into the sets and costumes, but none into the talent. Where did that money go? Where did that money go? Oh, yeah. I get it now. You know, AI Jesus is actually the perfect metaphor here. You know, he is just a 2D cutout projected onto a screen. And the church leadership is going wild, pretending that he's real, hoping that if they blast the music loud enough, if they set off enough sparklers, if they jump around hard enough, if they make you feel the feels enough, everyone's going to believe that God is actually there and that you will just keep on forking over your money. So this production ran about 45 minutes And then Pastor Mark, it's not anti-Semitic if you worship a Jew, Hughes, preached for another 45 minutes, which I did not have the stomach to sit through. But if you want me to review it, I will, for your sake. Just drop that comment down below and I'll consider it once my stomach's recovered. Oh. On the whole, I give off Broadway Jesus Christ Super-ish star 1.5 stars out of 5. That was a really good looking wall. Clearly had a lot of time and money put into it. Screen tech was spot on. One of the singing voices was not awful. Oh, but the writing and the acting and the blocking and everything else. Whoa. Just cheap tripe. This is the kind of stuff I was writing in Bible college. Let me reiterate, this is my Bible college level stuff, not $7 million mega church level. Wow. All hype, all spectacle, zero substance. And not even truth. Like, what did they advertise? Jukebox musical over the past couple decades telling the actual story. Wow, none of it. But they just get things flashy, get that music pumping, get everyone cheering? Just turn off your brains. Bread and circuses, folks. Bread and circuses. Ugh. Oh, I need to go wash out my eyeballs. But thank you for joining me so that I didn't have to watch this alone. I hope you're proud of yourselves. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you like this kind of content, every like, every comment, every sub means a whole lot to me. I really appreciate you. Until next time, this is Stephen Harder reminding you that underneath our clothes, we are all naked. I'll see you next time.